Welcome to the Dead Pixel Society podcast, the photo imaging industry's leading news source. Here's your host, Gary Pageau.
The Dead Pixel Society podcast is brought to you by Photo Finale, Media Clip, Advertech Inc., Got Photo, IQ, Photobook AI, the IPI Member Network, and MailPix. Hello and welcome to the Dead Pixel Society podcast. I'm your host, Gary Pageau, and today we're joined by Aaron Day, the Global Partnership Lead of Canva, one of the most exciting startups in the graphic arts space. Hello, Aaron. How are you today?
Good, Gary. Thanks for including me on the podcast this morning.
So first, for those people who aren't aware of Canva, can you kind of give us a rundown on a little bit of the company history?
Sure. So Canva's been in business since 2013. The company was launched by Mel and Cliff. The idea around the launching and sort of the inspiration of the business was to sort of make design easy and simple for everyone. Melanie and Cliff were involved with operations where they were either teaching design or involved with design in a business, and it just was very complicated. So the business was launched with a single goal of democratizing design and bringing it to everyone. And 7 years later, we are now the largest online design software platform in the world. We have a very simple user interface for people to go on and design just about anything: social media, print, presentations, video, infographics, you name it. We have thousands of different template types. And we also have become a pretty large content company. What most people don't know about Canva is that, while it's a really simple to use design tool, you also have a massive library of content that you can use, which makes the design process much simpler. So that's Canva. We're across the world. We're in 190 countries. We are native in 102 languages. So quite an amazing growth story over the last 7 years.
So what's the business model for Canva? How do you guys earn your valuation?
Well, so we really have about 5 product lines, if you want to think about it that way. We have Canva Free, which is a basic Canva design tool. You can go online, you can download the software. It's free. Anyone can use it. You can use the tool. It has lots of functionality. As you start to use the tool more and become more of a repeat user, and maybe someone who's going to use it for their daily life, for their business, or for a lot of social media hosting, you can upgrade to Canva Pro. And what you get there, that's the first revenue stream that Canva gets. What you get for Canva Pro, basically in a subscription fee service, is you get access to 60 million images, a massive content library, a whole bunch of new feature sets that lets your job just be easier when you're designing stuff on a regular basis. We then have a product called Canva for Enterprise, which is our first B2B product, and that is more of a controlled private environment where you can create designs and templates, and you can share them with your company, with your employees across your enterprise. And it allows for things such as brand control and collaboration, content management. That also is a SaaS software for a fee, and that's a new product. And then we basically we make money through we earn our valuation through content sales, delivering premium content. But the majority of our users are free users. So across the world, the majority of the people using Canva are free users, and then they benefit from that by making their life just simpler with what things they're doing in design.
So in terms of the business side of it, I think what's interesting about it is you have that brand control aspect to it, because I think in a lot of companies that are maybe medium-sized companies where they have a style book or a graphic look or something they're trying to do, and they have different areas within the company who may be creating graphics, maybe creating a social media post or an event or something. And, as we all know, creative people can be creative and then go off plan. So like the brand control aspect, I think is actually very compelling to those kind of companies.
Yeah, the thing that I love about our brand control is it's got different levels of functionality. So you can do something as you could have a creative designer in a company design a set of templates. They could lock down part of the template and leave some of the other parts of the template open for partial editing. Share that with the entire company. And now the company can move faster because you're not waiting for minor edits that might need to happen to a template. You can also share brand kits and company themes and company logos and company colors across. So everyone's designing sort of on brand, which
Right.
is one of the things that we feel is really out of whack, right? A lot of companies, if you look at their brand, they spend fortune on promoting their brand, but then you see their brand all over the world and it doesn't match.
Right.
So we're really focused on helping them, giving them tools to make sure that everyone that touches the brand designs on brand. So that's the beauty of the product.
So your role primarily with the company is in terms of partnerships, and you've announced some recently that have actually kind of butted up into the printing space. You've partnered with FedEx Office and with Office Depot. Can you kind of describe how that works in those contexts and how those businesses are using Canva to serve their customers?
Sure. So a little background first is, surprisingly, I would say a majority of the people who use Canva.com or use Canva every day don't realize that you can actually print from Canva. So you can go to Canva.com, you can design a poster, you can design a t-shirt, and you could actually order that t-shirt, and you can actually order it and have it delivered to you in 104 countries. Looking at the business and what the consumer wants, we thought, look, it would be amazing to take the power of our design tool and embed it in the world's most popular e-commerce sites for print. So if you think about where the majority of print's being ordered today, it's places like FedEx Office, Office Depot, other places around the world. A lot of medium and small size web to print companies are doing very well. But for the most part, none of them have a design tool embedded. So what we do in the partnership team is we embed the Canva designer, our editor, and our catalog into other e-commerce platforms, other web to print platforms. We don't know who the end user customer is. We don't get that private data. We just empower our partners to give the power of the Canva design tool to their clients, and hopefully we see a very nice uptick in print sales for our partners. That's our goal. Plus, we get a lot of people using Canva.
So people aren't necessarily a Canva customer per se; they're a FedEx Office customer, right?
Yeah, they would remain a FedEx Office customer in this scenario, or an Office Depot customer in this scenario. But they would have the full ability of using the Canva design tool to create any print templates that they would want to create and order.
So you've also made some inroads into mobile with some recent announcements.
Yeah. So what we do in the global partnership team is we have two focuses. We have focus on integrating Canva into, as I said, e-commerce and web to print platforms. And we also have an emphasis on trying to integrate Canva into tech platforms, places where we know there's going to be a lot of usage and there's going to be a lot of need for design. So we recently announced a partnership with Samsung, where Samsung will have Canva pre-installed on their mobile devices, starting with tablets and then mobile phones. And the goal there is it's really focused towards small businesses, to allow small businesses have the ability to very quickly launch templates for social media, print, for communication, presentations, proposals, things like that, just to make their business simpler. We really think that we're going to help reduce the cost structure and the turn time for small businesses by having sort of just an embedded experience with our software pre-installed on mobile devices.
So will they have on, let's say, the Samsung Note, let's say somebody's creating a flyer for their business, then they can have that printed through their Samsung phone?
They could go in and as you can see now, they could have multiple channels for distributing it. If they wanted to print it on their phone and have it delivered to their home, there'll be multiple ways to do that. If they wanted to print it and pick it up in store, there'll be options for that. So the idea here is that we're going to make it very simple for them to use the power of the design tool to get their print either shipped to them or picked up in store.
Now, that mobile app, does that have the same full capability of the full-blown Canva experience with, millions of stock images and all of those features?
Yeah, in Canva world, the technology is universal. So there's really no difference between what you see on Canva on a desktop, a mobile app, the web view. You might have a different, different view size based on the device you're viewing it from, but the capabilities and functionalities are all the same.
And as these tablets and phones are getting huge, I imagine it's a pretty compelling experience from a graphic design standpoint.
Yeah, we spend a lot of time focusing on how to try to make the user experience better for mobile, because obviously you don't have as much screen space, but the core functionality is the same. You have access to all the same content, templates, design tools, all the same solution.
So as Canva has added images, stock images, and that type of content. Also, I noticed you getting into animations a little bit, some animations. Is that really the direction it's going for the upward market in terms of adding more personalized content, photos, graphics, that kind of thing?
Well, we in the last year, there's been a lot of movement at Canva. We bought a couple of stock photography companies last year. We formed a partnership with one of the largest stock photography companies in the world, to making sure that our users, when they're designing something, don't have to go looking for content. Then we launched Canva Video and Canva Music. We recently announced a partnership with a music company where there's now over 30,000 music labels on Canva, so it's in the editor. We launched App Store so that third-party companies can develop supporting apps, and that's one of my favorite things that we've done. Is we've got 3 categories of apps: sort of design enhancement apps, workflow apps, and publishing apps. And so we're letting the world come in and create apps that will provide additional value to our users. Which means, if you think about it strategically, we're putting the customer first. We're not saying that we have to build everything ourselves. We're looking at the customer and saying, what do you need, and how do we get it to you as quick as possible? And if someone can build an app that provides something better than we can in a shorter period of time, we've opened it up. So that's a wonderful thing that we're doing as well there, that I think will really enhance the design experience in Canva.
So give me an example of one or two of those kind of third-party apps.
Well, so one example of an app on a publishing side would be something like where we're connected to Google Photo, where you can actually just grab the Google Photo app inside of Canva and not have to drag and drop images. It's just there in the editor panel.
Okay.
We've got interfaces with MailChimp. So if you wanted to do an email campaign, you can download the app and integrate it into an email campaign. There's some new apps coming around the print and photo business where you'll be able to do some extra photo editing. There's a bunch of apps that we have now in the design side that allow you to add special effects to photos and designs, where you can go in, you can a duotone effect or a video effect to an image. So there's a lot of different areas there that we're focused on, but it's all about just giving the user the ability in the editor to just add more and more features to their design.
So in terms of the quote unquote photo space, you mentioned Google Photos. Are you seeing much interest from what we would think of as traditionally photo companies for using Canva to enhance their products? Well,
so Canva has a lot of AI, and so there's two ways I'll address that question, Gary. So first of all, the ability to import tagged images that have data to them into Canva and be able to sort of have themes and have sort of similar content. But as I'm building a template of a design and I want to have like and kind images, the ability to have those images show up that are like and kind has a lot of value to our designers, right? So we think being very strong in photo is really important, because people are either searching or uploading enormous amounts of photos to put into their design. So that's one area. The other area is that we really believe that the idea of being a traditional photo printer is changing, and that taking the idea of a photo and blending it with a theme or new content is really the way things are going to go in the future, right? So instead of just printing a photo book and having 20 pages of photos, what we would like to suggest is print a photo book and understand where the photos came from and have it intelligently match themes to those photos. Sure. So that when those photos come up, and let's say I was on a trip to Rocky Mountains or Colorado, now themes of the mountain show up that I might be able to drop my photos into. And it just creates an easier and a more, and I think a more beautiful product when it comes out as a print product as well. So we're really thinking about how the traditional photo experience gets enhanced with the intelligence of our content and our templates. So
I think from a technology standpoint, it's quite apparent that the graphic arts and the photo people are coming much, much closer together, right? There used to be a photography workflow in space, and there used to be a graphic arts workflow in space. And now, if you walk into a photo lab these days, it looks like a print shop, right? With a digital press and cutters and binders and all these other equipment. So really you're kind of hitting that sweet spot.
Yeah, you know what? I think the one thing that we're going to see coming out of COVID is that there's been a sort of a how do I say this? A speed up in the process to move to more personalized digital print across the entire world, right? I mean, the longer run jobs, so all the automation coming around it. And what I really see happening is that the traditional graphic art side of the business and the photo side of the business are both benefiting from all the new automation and workflow, right? So it's becoming much easier to get a set of high-end photos into something that you want to print with the tools that are out there today. And Canva's part of it, but there's also some other really good companies out there that are building technology that allow that workflow to merge, right? Obviously there's a lot of photos out there in this world with smartphones and cameras and everything that are sitting there. And I think people are trying to figure out how to use them more. So
on the AI point, was Canva always, having AI as part of their backbone of their portfolio, or how soon does that come into play? Because, I've seen a lot of AI coming into the industry the last couple of years, and it seems like they're all going for the same sort of offering like Canva has. So is this something you've cooked up yourself, or how is that?
Yeah, I think as our founders launched the company and thought about the business, we're a global company. When you think about a global company and you're producing pre-built templates that we want people to use to help them design better, make it simpler for them to design, those templates have to be relevant, right? So you have to be able to localize templates and content to where the person is that's using the software, right? So if I'm in Manila versus if I'm in New York City, what we serve them needs to be different. So there's AI required there, right? There's intelligence that has to be put in to the system to localize the design tool. So I think foundationally, just from the very beginning, how we were built, it just ingrained in our NDA, right? That it has to be very intelligent. And as you go forward, then you think about everything else that you bring into it. The ability to localize video, music, and other content really is really powerful. So our base DNA is around really, really strong AI.
So in terms of the company, how would someone, if someone was interested in becoming a partner with Canva, how would they go about that process?
So right now, as automated as we are in many ways, the way you become a partner with Canva right now is you reach out to me. You will start to see in the near future some stuff where there's a portal and stuff like that where you can go on. If you're interested in being a print partner, where Canva's design tool will be embedded in your website or your e-commerce site or your web to print solution, then you reach out to me. You can go to canva.com/button, and that is where you would potentially integrate Canva into a social media platform or into a tech platform, a much more simple integration. But if you want an integration where there's going to be a transaction where a design is going to be executed in a shopping cart for fulfillment, then you basically today you come to me.
So let's say, for example, I was a platform provider for photo websites, and I've got all the normal tools. I've got a book builder, I've got image enhancement, I've got all of those great goodies. But I don't have a graphic design tool. What would be the process to be involved with Canva in that way? Would that just be pinging you, or?
Yeah, so you ping me and we look at it. We talk about what the design flow should look like, and then we basically we present an SDK, a standard development kit, to you for integrating the Canva solution in. allowing the editor and the design tool to be embedded inside of the site. It's actually pretty powerful when you think about it. A lot of these photo sites have so much other, really valuable component, but what they're missing is that piece where they force their client to grab all that data, leave the site, go grab an off-the-shelf design tool, build it, and then come back to publish the product. Whereas you can just put our design tool right into your site and allow this consumer to stay there all the time and do what they need to do.
Well, and I think one of the valuable tools that Canva has is its ability to intelligently resize for different formats.
Yeah, it is like I said before on another topic. One of my favorite solutions that Canva has is what I call magic resize, where you can actually design a poster and with one click of the button have it resized to a greeting card or to a sell sheet. You can take a poster and put it on a T-shirt, right? It's just a beautiful functionality, right? And if you're a retailer, if you're someone selling print, and you think about like the value that brings, that person going to your site to buy a photo or a canvas or a photo book, they may just not know how to build another product, right? And if you can give them right side by side an additional product without any requirements from them, you probably see quite a nice upsell in what comes through your shopping cart, right? And that's what we're really focused on is giving those partners the ability to add more revenue to their shopping cart.
Or if they can do it, they just know that it's too painful to do, and they won't do it, right?
Yeah, or takes too long, if we can just say, hey, here's your canvas, your T-shirt, and your photo book, all from one design on your site. What a beautiful thing, for them.
Great. So, is there anything you can tell us coming down the pipeline from terms of Canva developments you can share?
Oh, well, what I will tell you is that I think the world's going to be very excited to see our next generation photo book product. We're launching here in the next few weeks the whatever you want to call it, Gen 3, Gen 4 of a new photo book product. And I'm super excited for your community to see it, Gary. I think they're going to love what they see and just sort of how we've taken, all the existing technology and added our flair to it. Right. So really excited about that. And where we're going in the near future. So.
Great. Well, thank you very much, Aaron, for your time, and have a great week.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you for listening to the Dead Pixel Society podcast. Read more great stories and sign up for the newsletter at www.thedeadpixelssociety.com.